Good morning, everybody. It is 11 a.m. here in Vancouver on the west side of North America. And usually we would start off with some form of presentation and we'll introduce you to a key YouTube concept. But this week, it's all about you, your questions, and your channel audits. Let's do this.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
Hello everyone, welcome back to vidIQ, and my name is Rob, and as always it is an honour to have you joining us here, taking time out of your morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, wherever you are in the world, to join us here on the vidIQ live stream. If you are joining us today live, do let us know where you are in the world and what time it is, and we're going to do some shout outs right now. As we say, a big shout out to somebody who's had one of the most stressful, heavy, hard-working weeks probably of his entire life, but look at him, he looks glorious in all that lighting. He almost looks as if he's been on holiday with a beautiful tan here. Welcome, Jeremy Vest, as always, to the live stream. Just to give the viewers a little bit of a brief rundown of how your past week has been and why we're somewhat a little unplanned for this live stream.
Sure. So last week I hosted a conference called Video Marketing World, and vidIQ was there in full force. So we're all a little tired. We had almost 500 people learning from the best in the world, like Rob Wilson. How was your first speech you ever did on stage, Rob?
Yeah, so another reason why I might be a little tired is because I was getting super stressed out at actually talking in front of people who may have some questions and some knowledge which would challenge me. And I did a presentation on data-driven decisions, which we do a lot here at vidIQ. I'm going to be honest, I had a sleepless night beforehand, but the presentation went well because I started giving away lots of free sunglasses and basically... It turned into a bit of a stand-up comedy routine, and I think that works pretty well. So I don't know if people gained a lot from the presentation in terms of knowledge, but they certainly enjoyed themselves. And I think the key thing was that nobody left throughout the talk. So I think that was the most positive thing.
I heard a lot of people say it was their favorite presentation. Well done. And in the shadows of Daryl Leaves and Tim Schmoyer and Roberto Blake and Sean Cannell and all these big giants in our industry. Really well done, Rob.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeremy. And again, thank you to you for putting on an awesome event at an amazing resort, which it was called the Gaylord Texas Resort in Dallas, and it was like this big hotel with this dome structure on it. It almost felt like a stadium in some ways in how big and awesome it was. Anyway, that was our week collectively. Hello to everybody joining us here. So hello to people such as the first username I'm going to try and pronounce is impossible to pronounce because it's NDXXTIWYT. That's not even a genuine name, but hello to you. Hello to FR Channel 24, Top 5s Indeed, Magician 33. Who else have we got here? Omar Korea. Hello to you. Thank you all for joining us. Who else have we got on the live stream today, Jeremy?
We have Tom Tech, Matt Maid. We have, I can't pronounce that name or that name. We have BD. I can pronounce that. Meet the McKinneys. What's up? And we have Power with 2 R's.
That's an interesting, possibly first question. And just while we, Jeremy, try and tackle this question, folks, this is a Q&A session. Ask us anything. So start firing in your questions now. Is it a good idea to have a username that nobody can actually pronounce?
It depends on what you want. If you want no one to remember your channel, it's a great idea.
So it's something that people can, as you say, people can identify, remember, and in some way catchy. It's a bit of a simple idea, but that name who've already forgot NDXSYT, whatever. Channel name, obviously, it's going to establish you and your brand. Have a good channel name to begin with.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people actually just use their names because, you know, our brains can associate a person's name with the face the more we see them, right? So our brains can't necessarily, we can associate with a brand logo, like a brand in a company, but think about how human YouTube is.
Absolutely. All right, so that's the first answer there. Make sure you have a username that somebody can not only pronounce, but remember. The first question has already come in from Hawk Gaming here, who's working on a colour scheme. and he needs a color combo to stand out to get attention. And also I need to get some tips on how to title videos to get the most out of your most out of a video. So let's start with color scheme. We've already touched on this a little bit, Jeremy, but I seem to remember you've talked about the color wheel before. Maybe give our community here a bit of an introduction to what that is and how important a color scheme is, because I use this in my presentation, the purple cow, something you can maybe expand on there as well.
Yeah. So first off, especially for thumbnails, you do need to stand out compared to everyone else. So taking color theory away for just a second, if people in your industry are red and green, don't be red and green, right?
Yeah.
You have complementary colors and all kinds of colors. If you type in Adobe Color Wheel, you can check out a really cool tool where you can put in your main color for your logo or your brand, and it'll actually give back colors that complement or that are opposite of, so that you can have a nice color palette that's pleasing to the eye. For example, when you go to a restaurant, you're going to see a lot of reds and oranges. And for some reason, brains equate that with food. I'm not sure why, but like that weird, like Wendy's and McDonald's orange and yellow, it's in every fast food restaurant just about in America, even Subway. So there are a lot of psychological reasons to use color. Like purple is, it's royal and trustworthy. So is blue, regal and, trustworthy. So there is a lot of psychology you can use in color. My biggest suggestion would be to just keep it simple. Don't overthink it to begin with.
Absolutely, yeah. So maybe 2 or 3 colors, and just to repeat what Jeremy said, it's the Adobe Color Wheel. If you search for that on Google, you get this color circle where, as you say, if you click and drag, it automatically moves the colors around to give you good contrasting colors. So that's a top tip there for you. I think it was Hawk who asked that question. Any questions you picked out there, Jeremy, yet that we can maybe tackle?
Yeah, NDXXITY. He asks, or she, I'm not sure, why does it say I have 109 views when it really has 150 to 170? Rob, do you want to explain the delay, the up to 24-hour delay of views?
Yeah, so I think the best way to always track what your actual number of views is right there and then is to go to the real-time stats, whether it be on your mobile device or on a real-time stats page on YouTube. And that will always give you the raw count. As you may have already noticed, username we can't pronounce, the view count on the actual watch page is always a little bit behind. And I don't know if we go back like 3 or 4 years, people may remember it used to stick at 301 for a good 24 hours as YouTube verified all of these views, and they've got servers all over the world, and the views are coming in from all of these different servers. So there's always that verification point which YouTube wants to check on. So in terms of why it says one thing someplace and one thing elsewhere, I wouldn't worry too much about every single view in the first 24 hours. You can also go to the new, the video snapshot panel on the YouTube Creator Studio that gives you real up-to-date figures and compares them in relative terms versus your previous videos. That's one that I've really started looking at in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, that's the simple answer. There's probably a bit of a more technical answer from YouTube, but in terms of your views, they will sort themselves out in the first 24 to 36 hours.
Another person asked, how do you start a family vlog or a vlog? One piece of advice I would give before I give the mic over to Rob again would be to actually do collaborations with other family vlogs, getting started, and kind of share each other's communities, if you will. Vlogging is one of the hardest things to get started on because it's not really about search intent. It's not how to make a cake. It's more like, come join me while I go to the zoo. So it's not a search intent based thing for the most part. You can put family vlog or, food vlog or blog in your titles. But for the most part, it's people sharing their experience with you, with their friends and family. And, how do you make content good enough to give to give someone a reason to share why they love you to someone else. If you think in those terms with a vlog, for every viewer, I'll get 3 more viewers, then you're on the right track.
I was speaking to a vlogger at your conference, actually, Jeremy, and he said one of the things that he helped him was identifying events within a potential vlog and then going to that event and then building the stories from that event. And he had particular success in an elevator ride. I can't remember if it was a famous elevator of some kind, but for some reason, just for telling the story of riding in that elevator became so popular that that's now like his hero content. And I was maybe suggesting maybe you can be the expert channel on family vloggers that go and experiment with all these different elevators. I know it sounded like a crazy conversation at the time, but I'm sure if you go and watch the video, it's not just about the elevator as such. It's the stories behind, like maybe what the parents think. Did they get stuck in it? Did they meet anybody in the elevator and the conversations that they had? So there is some spontaneity there always in family vlogging. But I think ultimately, as you say, it's not search intent. It's storytelling and building a trust and an element of shared interest in you as a person and your family.
Octorius asks, does it matter if you take a small break from YouTube? I've been always and haven't had the chance to upload. So, Rob, does it matter if you take a small break from YouTube?
How long are we talking of a break here, Octorius? Are we talking about a few weeks, a few months? For me personally, I have another channel called the Video Gadgets Journal. I haven't done anything on that channel for 3 or 4 months, but because of my content, which was mostly evergreen, answering questions, search intent content, I've only seen a small decline in actual views and watch time, which sounds absolutely bonkers. But I really was specifically targeting ranking for these evergreen search terms. I think in terms of if you know you're going to take a break, then you should probably have some content ready in the pipeline. Just to keep your channel going. And I always say to people, if you can produce 4 or 5 videos a week, then maybe you should actually aim to produce 3 or 4 videos a week. So you've always got some capacity for when life intervenes and you've got something in the background there in terms of putting out content. Like, for example, we went to the conference this week. So I made sure that I had at least 2 videos ready to go out last week. And again, it's going to be the same when we go to future conferences. In terms of taking a break, I think you just have to accept sometimes that while YouTube is a robot and it wants content all of the time, us as humans can't always answer the call. And sometimes it's good to get a break to recharge your creative juices and come back fresh and ready. Any thoughts from the I guess, algorithm side from you there, Jeremy?
I have a channel that's like 11 years old, has about 100,000 views on it. I haven't uploaded to that channel in 11 years. I may test this. I may go make a video and let's see what happens, right? 11-year-old channel that hasn't been touched in 11 years. Let's see what happens. So I'll do something here in the next few weeks and let you guys know.
I think that question there from Octorius is always one of those where people get so caught up on making sure that they meet YouTube's demands and meets your audience's demand that sometimes the quality of the content may suffer as well. So if you need to take a break, I think go for it, and you'll probably feel 100 times better when you return from that break. All right, so those are... Sorry, Jeremy, did you have something to add there?
Dude Perfect with 33 million subscribers do not post very many videos.
Yeah.
Never believe the hype. The reality is everyone's going to find their own momentum.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
For most of us, if you post more content, you're going to get more stuff. But there is a threshold, and there are always outliers. So don't prescribe to one philosophy. The reality is, I think that 11-year-old channel I have, I could make it rock again if I wanted to. I don't think that. I think sporadic content is really, really bad for the algorithm. I think stopping and starting is obviously you're not going to gain any momentum. But Rob, if you started your channel back in full force next week, I honestly believe that it would start slow, but over time, a year from now, it would be even greater than it is today.
Yeah. You tend to find if you take a break and start posting videos, all of a sudden you get a ton of subscribers who unsubscribe because they've realized they're subscribed to what was a mothball channel. And think of it like a car. It's like sometimes you need to take it in for its MOT or its service, so it's out of action for maybe a day or two. But if you just let that car running without that service, it's going to break down, it's going to slow down. But when you're tuning it up, giving it a new oil, and it's ready and slick and running smoothly again, then you'll see your conditioned. Where am I going with this? With your repaired car soon overtaking that car that was slowly breaking down. That's a terrible analogy, but I'm sticking with it. So,
hey, Rob.
Yeah.
So Dark Shadow 666 Evil, I'm just kidding, asks, why don't you make a mobile app? What is up with that?
God, now we're talking about top secret things here. All I'm going to say, so this has been kind of we can let this out of the bag a little bit because this question was asked to Rob Sandy, our CEO at VidCon, and it is in the works and it is coming soon. That's all we can say. And the reason it's taking so long is because just like when we were doing brainstorming on the or thought showers, however you want to call it, we were making sure that we give you exactly what you want, and so it's there. It's in the pipeline. We're testing it every single day, and as soon as we can tell you more information, you're definitely going to see video content about it. So we get asked this question probably 5 or 6 times a week on comments. It is on its way, and when it comes out soonish, you'll certainly be finding out about it on the channel. I hope that's the diplomatic political answer to that question.
All right, another one from Dan, all uppercase.
Hey, Dan, all uppercase.
Getting a little frustrated that we're not getting more questions out, so we're going to go faster. Suggest new content to new YouTubers for best results. So, Dan, it could be underwater basket weaving or, how to fish, or it could be anything. So because we don't know what you are into, I have a philosophy that matches search intent with passion. So you need to be passionate about something to get someone to watch content you make, right? It has to be awesome. You have to have a love for what you're doing. Beyond that, we could talk about content types. Personally, I'm a big believer that you start with how-to content, unless you're a family vlogger or a vlogger. Start with how-to content and then figure out what questions people are asking and make the answers to those questions. So even some of the biggest channels in the world today started off answering questions. Rob, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the ways we've been building a community here at vidIQ is answering questions throughout the year. The big thing for us, you always have to think about what questions are being asked in your genre or your topic. For us, it was demonetization at the beginning of the year, so we made a lot of content on that, answering your questions. And as soon as we get more information, we push out more content on that. And we're still getting a lot of questions around that. But now we have this monetization as a gateway to vidIQ. Now you find that we're doing these live streams with the Q&As, and we're sort of branching out into new areas such as how to start a gaming channel, and then other ones about how to build an audience with a particular type of content. So absolutely, Jeremy, I think I agree with you in that sometimes your voice, to begin with, you may be shouting really awesome things, but it's in an empty room. So you need to put I'm trying to think of the analogy of people who are on the side of a road and they're waving those big signs around, trying to attract you to the carpet store to get awesomely priced carpets. And that's kind of what you need to do to begin with to actually get somebody into your store, and then you can sell the content that really matters to you and to your audience.
Well, your analogies are really
I'm trying my best.
But on a positive note, Dominator Animate
Yeah.
Congratulates you on 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah, so
Congratulations.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'm just going to take you off screen for 1 second. I'm not sure if you can see
vidIQ.
some
vidIQ.
balloons in the background here. And these balloons are from celebrating 200,000 subscribers. I didn't realize this, but while I was at Jeremy's conference, my girlfriend went out and bought I don't know how many helium balloons and all these blue-themed balloons and things to congratulate us on 200,000 subscribers. But it's not congratulating us, it's congratulating you guys and girls for putting your faith and trust in us, not only as a YouTube tool, but as a YouTube channel to educate your YouTube journey. And we thank you, all 200 and I think 2,000 people now have clicked on that red subscribe button and stuck with us, and this is just the beginning, and I'm really looking forward to the future, sharing all of the knowledge that we have with you every single week and helping you achieve the same success as us, and maybe getting one of these play buttons here, which I'm trying to point at behind me. So yeah, thank you everybody for your continued support. And this is why we do it, Jeremy, isn't it? To see these comments which say you inspired us, my channel's grown 200% thanks to you, or I've hit this milestone, and I thank vidIQ for that. And I always like to think we take maybe 1 or 2% of the credit, because at the end of the day, it's your content and it's your passion and enthusiasm, and we just help you maybe point to the analytics and how to make your content more visible than anything else.
And because Rob's awesome.
Kind of, yeah.
So Missy Moo, thanks for the super chat, asks, what's more important, CTR or retention percentage? The chicken or egg question. Which comes first, Rob?
Well, okay, so this was part of my presentation, and forgive me, I'm going to quote Master Yoda, who's now a YouTube consultant. And bear with me on this one, and it kind of worked on the presentation. I got a few laughs after I worked out what I was talking about, but impressions lead to click-through rate. Click-through rate leads to views. Views leads to watch time. Watch time leads to YouTube algorithm stuff that we're all trying to understand. And then the YouTube algorithm should, in theory, lead to more impressions. That's the kind of cycle that I've created in my head. So the answer is click-through rate is important first, because when somebody sees your thumbnail, that's what's going to drive them to actually click and view your content, which is why we're pushing thumbnails and titles as probably the most important thing for any channel. Then the content has got to be super engaging, whether it's a 1-minute video or a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. You want your audience watching for as long as possible, and as your watch time increases, YouTube will recommend your content to more people. And by that I mean, instead of people finding your content through search or being shown your content through a subscription notification, YouTube starts to make your content appear on home pages and suggested video columns. And that's what I mean by YouTube recommending your content. If you go to the Creative Studio beta, YouTube actually has that analytic in your click-through rate funnel. You click on the information icon and it shows you how much YouTube's recommending your content. So click-through rate is, first of all, very important. Even though you'd probably do the thumbnail after the content, that's what people see first, then the content second. Jeremy, over to you. I'm putting you on the spot. What do you think?
All right. Well, I think that from all the data and everything I've looked at, that watch time is going to grow your channel faster because YouTube's going to recommend it more. Another thing about click-through rate that a lot of people don't understand, for example, a few weeks ago, the King of Random, a dude with 10 million subscribers, shared one of my videos, and the click-through rate was 0.09, like not even 1%.
Yeah.
But I got more views than most other people that day, right?
Yeah.
So as YouTube shares and as you get more shares, like let's say your video goes somewhat viral or it's just shared a lot on the right-hand side, your impressions to view ratios are going to go way down because it's actually going to be seen by more people that aren't necessarily your audience. So if just subscribers and people in your universe are seeing your videos, your thumbnails, then your impressions to views are going to be very high, most likely. And if you start getting somewhat viral, then your impressions to views are going to be low. So my thing is try to make your thumbnails 1% better every week, and forget about everything else. And look at the impressions to views ratios to get a barometer and understand what is happening with your thumbnails. Always trying to make it go up. But if it's way down, go look and see what the difference is. Yeah. Go look at traffic sources, see if you just got a lot more traffic from search or suggested, or something weird happened, or if your video's embedded on some website. Make sure that you're understanding the whole picture here. And the whole picture is, all you guys got to do is make phenomenal content people want to consume, have great titles that people are searching for, and make really the best thumbnails you can. That's it.
Yep. Final thing I would add, YouTube said the average click-through rate should be between 2 and 10%, and that will vary from channel to channel and genre to genre. And I think, as Jeremy says, look at what your click-through rate is now and aim to improve that. Don't compare your click-through rate to somebody else's, because again, you're just in that zone of, why is this person doing better than me? Why is this person getting such a high click-through rate? It's more about how you can improve yourself and your content through that. All right. So before this live stream, I said to Jeremy, what we do is maybe like 10 minutes of questions and 10 minutes of channel audits. And we haven't done that whatsoever. We've just been taking your questions because we are so unplanned today. But now we're going to do some channel reviews. So, Jeremy, I'm just going to start clicking some buttons on your side, which will help us to look at some channels. If I just press some buttons there. Are you excited to see what we've got in store today, Jeremy?
I am
from
super
our audience. Okay, I just need to press one more button. That brings you on screen. Okay, so can you see my screen here, Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the first channel in terms of channel audits, and just before we go into this, we do have now a Google form in our live stream description chat. If you want your channel audited, make sure to fill out the form there, and it just helps us better service you for the channel audits. Today, the first channel we're looking at is Tubble TV, a channel with 229 subscribers. When I look at this channel, I see cartoon images of food. When I look at the videos, it looks like some educational content, perhaps for children, but I'm maybe not getting the full message of the channel because I can't see a value proposition in the channel banner, and then the thumbnails perhaps don't reflect the cartoony images. That's what I'm initially getting. View-wise, a couple of videos are getting more views than subscribers, so it does look as if this channel potentially has some reach. Any thoughts from you here, Jeremy?
Yeah, we just need to find a theme.
Yeah.
And very easily and quickly, people need to be able to understand the what and why your channel exists.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a statement like, fun education videos for preschoolers, or something like that.
Yeah.
So that we know what the channel's about. Looking at it from slime to looking at teaching people how to look at different animals. There's just so many things happening there that it's difficult. And then finally, I would say just have some type of template or normal look and feel for your thumbnails, so that people know it's your brand and your thumbnails.
I can see here from the description pretty much tells you what the channel's about, and it's a very new channel, less than a month old. So congratulations on the breaking 1,000 views and having hundreds of subscribers already, which is brilliant. I think you're absolutely right there. Color theme and I'm trying to. How would you perhaps get those thumbnails to appeal to a very young audience? Does it simply just need a lot more color and vibrant thumbnails, such as this one here with the fruits, or is there anything else that we could potentially add?
Well, my suggestion, for example, with learning wild animal names, is I would have one of those animals to be 70 to 80% of the screen.
Yeah.
So a little kid can identify if it was like a clam or a seashell or a turtle. So 70 to 80% of the scene would actually be the animal itself and maybe someone holding the animal. And then the rest of the screen would be a very, very primary color background. So I would cut out that creature,
Yeah.
and expose the background with as much color as you can, like you have done very, very well on the banner.
And then, the fruits, I think the fruits thumbnail is a good example.
I would just have one or two fruits way bigger so kids can see it on their iPhones or whatever they're on.
Awesome. Okay, so Tubble TV, I think, as a very new channel, a good start on your content. Maybe we just need to make the message stronger in your thumbnails. I'm also seeing some super chats come in, by the way. Thank you very much for them. I'm not going to forget them this time. We're going to get back to those very soon. So thank you for the super chats. Next channel we are going to look at is, if I just rewind and get to the channel itself, it's ECK Fitness channel with 4,000 subscribers. So congratulations to you on a building channel here. Looks as if it's about fitness. We can clearly see that. Thumbnails perhaps may be lacking a little bit of consistency there. You are in a lot of the thumbnails I can see. But there's colors. The color schemes vary quite a bit. What do you think to the channel here, ECK Fitness, Jeremy?
I mean, even though there's a little bit of lack of consistency, I mean, this guy gets viralness. Some of his titles, like "This is so wrong" and "My first leg day ever." This guy gets YouTube.
Yeah,
probably grew up watching YouTube in the last 10 or 11 years. You get it. You completely get it. You also know that for your type of channel, showing muscles
absolutely,
is kind of a big deal, right? You have to actually show what people are looking for. And what people are looking for in muscles and fitness is results. So you get everything. I would love to see your thumbnails 80% better. Now, the way you do that, I would say, is you've done a good job making your face or your body close to the screen or to the scene. I would have more color in the background, possibly, but like Rob said, is definitely find a way to have consistency. In my opinion, that consistency will probably be in the form of a background and text. Also, only use one font from now on with one specific color. Your fonts are a lot of colors and there are a lot of different types of fonts. So one of the ways it's going to feel like your thumbnail versus someone else is having a background color and having a consistent font and a consistent font color, so that every time you put up a video, it looks very similar. The only difference is, that particular muscle group or that particular, YouTuber face or whatever you're doing there.
I picked out this thumbnail. I thought, Jeremy, as one which was particularly strong, with a very much a blurred background, but the person very much in focus. If it's talking about arms, maybe we could zoom in even closer to see those wonderful muscles that we can see there, and a nice little icon. So I thought, these two that I'm just hovering between, I thought these were pretty strong ones in terms of certainly putting the character, the personality front and center in thumbnail.
Absolutely. And think of these thumbnails like you've done a good job, but think of them as a cartoon where you're building a visual story.
Yeah.
So like you added the Easter egg in that one thumbnail. That's brilliant because it actually visually shows, what the video is about.
All right. So, a good look there at ECK. I don't know if it's ECK Fitness or ECK Fitness. Looks like a good growing channel there, and best of luck. And I guess congratulations on 4,000 subscribers, which you're going to crack probably within the next week. Next channel we are looking at is Matt's Movie Reviews. A small channel with 160 subscribers, but one of those where I look at the the banner and the thumbnails, and I start to see this channel certainly has potential to grow very quickly if they can find their niche, their value proposition within the movie genre. I like the fact that the channel's font is in there. Maybe that needs to be a little smaller, and perhaps the thumbnails in some of these are a little busy. This one, for example, probably a bit too much text, far too many characters for my eyes to really focus on anything. What are your thoughts coming through here earlier on, Jeremy, as we look through Matt's movie reviews?
One of my favorite terms to use in thumbnails is rainbow vomit.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, you don't have consistent rainbow vomit, right?
Right.
So you have the color it takes to attract someone's brain and eyes to look. But like Rob said, it's definitely, in my opinion, too busy. There's too much happening on most of these. And just like, for example, Ready Player One is my favorite one, because you just have, the only problem is, if you notice, 4:06, the time of your video, is being covered up, covering up your logo. So I'd move Matt's movie reviews to the bottom left.
Yeah. Around
That's
here.
the safest place for something like that to live.
One thing I've noticed here is, let me just sort by most popular. It looks as if, Matt, you had particular success, yes, with a retro review, the Batman Begins one. Now, why is it's also one which has 100% likes as well, which, now with 4,000 views and 4 likes, maybe there's a question there as to how you've got the likes there. Maybe this has been shared externally, or perhaps you're paying on this one. But as I see this, retro reviews, is that somewhere where you could potentially have some success? Like another one here, Star Trek The Motion Picture, Blade Runner, all of these are retro reviews, and these seems to be your most successful ones. So instead of maybe targeting the recent releases where perhaps competition is too competitive, maybe it's retro reviews that you certainly maybe want to do a series of videos on to try if there's anything there.
And you also want to, from a search intent perspective and a title perspective, you'll want to really use for these retro reviews what people are actually searching for. I'm guessing they would be searching for something like original Star Trek 1979 or something, not retro reviews. So you may just want to double check and see exactly what people are searching for on YouTube. Yeah.
So that's Matt's movies reviews. Okay, what I'm going to do before I forget here is we're going to switch back to these live super chats, because I want to make sure we read these out for once. So we've got a couple in already. Missy Moo, what's important? So Missy Moo, thank you for the super chat, which was $2. What's more important, CTR or retention percentage? I think, Jeremy, you've already picked that one out, which was awesome. What's in Michael's bag? €2 donation there. Great show and advice. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciated. And Benji's dad here. I remember you posted a fantastic comment on one of our videos a couple of weeks ago where you were saying that you really appreciate the analytical look into the videos that I do, and picking out particular videos and case studies, and I really appreciated your comments there, and thank you for the super chat as well, $2. It's awesome. As I say, we're not really here for the super chats. vidIQ is not a channel which is trying to build income from super chats, but they are super appreciated, and thank you very much for all of those contributions there. And if you want to contribute super chats, more than welcome to, but it doesn't influence whether we do an audit. We want to make sure this is a free service, so if you fill out that Google form, we'll be happy to try and audit your channel. Any questions coming through there, Jeremy, if we look back on the chat for a few minutes here, see if we can help anyone?
Sure. Well, the Bushcraft Padawan, I think,
Padawan.
Is Padawan. I'm normally correcting you on these.
It's a Star Wars reference, that's why.
New audit tool. I'm a pro user, can't see something. We'll help you on that. Obviously, contact tech support. But well done on the new tool. I don't know if you guys have seen the new V2 of the channel audit on the left-hand side. That tool came out last week. We really want to know your thoughts on this tool. We want to make this tool a lot better. And I can tell you personally, not that I'm biased, It's the best video marketing tool I've ever used in my life. It just the what happens in this tool, what you get out of this tool. Essentially, what happens right now is you see how well you've done for views and watch time, subscribers for the last 30 days, a month-over-month comparison, and then it also shows you what videos you're doing the best on. So it shows you, what videos are driving the most watch time, what videos are driving the most subscribers. It also tells you now what videos are the worst performing, and and also tells you from an actionable perspective what videos are missing cards or playlists or end screens. So really, from like a YouTuber's perspective, I have not seen many tools this powerful where you can just go in quickly, figure out how your channel is doing, take action, and rock the world. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I was just trying to show people on screen, but for some reason I'm getting a squirrely loading screen. I think it's because we're live streaming at the moment and I have so many tabs open. But yeah, on the YouTube navigation page, if you have vidIQ installed, it's down the left-hand side. Click it. It'll give you a report on more than 30 metrics personalized for your channel. And I just visit it every single day just to check on what videos are generating the most subscribers. Is there anything in particular from my competitors? Because now we show what videos are driving traffic your way, and when you add videos to your competitors list on vidIQ, it shows you which videos are performing well, so you can keep up to date on if it's content that you're missing out on and you can capitalize on. So yeah, the quick plug there is that Channel Audit, and around about 60 to 70% of it is free, just revolutionizes the way you can analyze your channel so quickly. You're not clicking through screen after screen after screen to find what you need from YouTube Analytics. We bring it all to one screen, almost like a report card. And we're excited on your feedback, and who knows, version 3 will probably be coming sometime in the future. We're not going to say the near future, because our developer who was working on it got a little stressed as he was working through it, and I think he just needs a new project to keep him occupied before we start version 3 of it.
So Rob, I want to do a quick test. We're gonna do a power. Just go through questions fast as you can. I'm gonna read them to you. Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
Ready.
Belly dancing. Is it worth updating old thumbnails for evergreen videos? Yes or no?
If the evergreen content is doing well, then there is a somewhat of a risk. You maybe do some A/B testing on it. I have done that on my content to try and keep the consistency with the new thumbnails versus the old ones. So if you feel as if you have the time to do that, yes, give it a try, but just monitor how your video performs for a week or two after that.
I got the highest vidIQ SEO score, 43.7 out of a 50, but it was my lowest performing video. What's up with that?
So this could be because the vidIQ says that you're making it as transparent and visible to YouTube as possible. However, is the content something that people are searching for now and is still popular? What we have out of 50 before the video goes live is how well we think your video has the potential to do, but the performance of it, if it starts ranking, is where the real money, the real juice comes into the content. If you're doing well in the performance rankings of SEO, that's where things are really going. You should always try and aim to get between 40 and 50 to give your video the best possible chance to succeed on YouTube, but it doesn't guarantee the success.
Are you going to integrate into YouTube Beta Studio?
Yes, we were talking about that this morning. It is coming soon.
I love the new tool, just waiting to see things I can improve. It still says I need more data. One quick tip is, paying customers can see 90 days and they can get more data that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's be honest, smaller channels who produce less content means that there's less data to grab. And if you're a new customer, it may take a week or two for us to gather that information. So produce more content. Try and produce, I guess, between 4 and 8 videos a month to take the full benefit out of the channel audit if you can.
And why does the SEO total go up and down without me changing anything?
So I guess we're talking about the SEO scorecard,
Yes.
or are we talking about
Or no,
YouTube search?
the SEO score on the scorecard.
So it will, again, it will change depending on performance. So if videos change rank, that will decrease, and it will also look at the trends of the keywords. So if they're less popular, then you'll lose score in the high volume ranked score as well. But if it's fluctuating quite a lot, and whenever you refresh it, that possibly may be a bug. So you'd want to report that to our support team, see if we can get that fixed.
Several people have made kind of weird comments that when they installed vidIQ, they either lost or gained subscribers. This is the myth, right?
Yeah. We do not influence. We are not a hack program. We don't give you views or subscribers. So I'm not sure why that would be happening. Again, if you have raw evidence of that, we'd love to see it.
Are bright colors better for thumbnails? I'm going to take this one. It's actually more relevant on if you stand out from your crowd. So if your entire industry does pink thumbnails, your pink thumbnail won't be any different than your competitors. So it's not enough to just have bright thumbnails. And also, if you're a lawyer and you have bright bubblegum pink thumbnails, people may not want to hire you either, right? So there's a lot of thought to put into thumbnails, obviously test a lot, but it's more important to stand out from your competitors than it is to just have a good thumbnail, because you're over there in the right-hand side rail and you need to pop.
All right, let's get back into some more channel audits. Jeremy, just confirm, can you see my screen? Thank you for the questions there. I think we'll do another quick round where I get the chance to ask Jeremy lots of questions on the fly and put him under pressure. But we'll go back to the channel audits first. As you were saying, Jeremy, we got a question from the Bushcraft Padawan. I think we reviewed his channel a couple of weeks ago, and we gave him some advice, and he's taken that to heart, certainly on the channel banner. Congratulations on 2,000 subscribers that you're about to hit, Bushcraft Padawan. Is there anything new that we can see here from the... I think we were looking at spoon carving part 2. That's the last thumbnail I can remember.
Yes, the thumbnails have got a lot better.
Yeah.
They're kind of just green-ish before, and now you can see he's added a lot more saturation and color to his latest videos, which makes him look more human. I love this last one here 6 days ago with the fire. I think that's a great video. It's a great thumbnail. You know, the consistent part of that could have been keeping your green on green text. Yeah. But beyond that, well done.
But I would just also say, like, as maybe he's experimenting here with a completely new thumbnail and a much longer videos here of 25 minutes long, and it seems to be the best performing one in the last week or so. So maybe that as an experiment, maybe will work. So. I would say you've taken on board our suggestions there, Bushcraft Padawan, and you're reaping the benefits. So just keep it up, and congratulations in advance on 2,000 subscribers. Next channel is, I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong here, G. Dumagwin. If I'm anywhere right, hopefully there. You produce new videos every Friday. It's a travel vlog in the Philippines, it looks like here, and I'm liking, well, what I can see here is this channel seems to be experimenting with different thumbnail styles on the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 thumbnails, different text every time, and they're in their own way, they all look as if they could work, but I feel as if this channel probably needs to decide on one type of thumbnail and stick to it. Which would perhaps be your favorite from the ones that you can see here, Jeremy?
Well, first, I think this is a good example of showing expression and being human. Yeah. You know, she has the YouTube faces. She's like, I spent $30 for this. What's that? And you want to click on it because you don't know what's going on. And then there's some random monkey emoji on her hand. So that's fun. First off, I would say that your stills of your thumbnails are phenomenal. You're doing a very good job getting people excited to understand what is going on. We call this the 3 E's: eyes, excitement, and I don't remember the other one right now, entertainment or something.
It's been a long week, folks. It's been a long week.
It really has. And I agree with Rob. If you had a consistent font, color, and people knew this was the official thumbnail for your channel and they knew to click on it. Personally, I like with you, because you're a female, I kind of like a little more of the feminine text, like the top of the whatever, chuba or whatever that is. So definitely, like personally, I'm digging the more feminine text. But well done. Experiment with color in the background of your thumbnails. And the only other thing, I think this is obviously a vlog, is you want to say travel vlog or travel vlogging in every title, and make a series playlist travel vlogging. And then you also may want to do travel vlogging Philippines or wherever you are. That way you can create, a lot of your videos ranking consistently for travel vlogging Philippines or wherever you travel to.
Yeah. I was just trying to find the most popular videos here, and I thought I'd spotted a theme on videos doing well where it was to do with airports. This one, which was done 4 months ago, had carry-on luggage. But hang on, I just need to check how consistent you are as well, because I've just spotted you haven't really posted any videos in a while. So have you taken a break from YouTube? That might be a question that you need answering. And welcome back to YouTube when you do decide to make some new content. But it looks as if you decided to take a pause around about 3 months ago, and your audience will welcome you back whenever you decide to start making videos again. All right, let's look at iPause. How would you pronounce that? iPause. Or anyway,
this is not.
This channel has 30,000 subscribers. Congratulations on your tremendous success here. The biggest channel we've audited so far today. Channel that's to do with Fortnite mainly, it looks to be, and you're getting very healthy view counts for the size of your channel, and you're producing a lot of content as well. I think we've been doing some data research which seems to suggest that gaming channels do better when they're just pushing out content day after day after day, and certainly this channel is benefiting from that. I think the thumbnails look pretty strong to me. Any thoughts from you, Jeremy?
Can you sort by the most popular video?
Yeah, let's do by that.
So do you see how many views the biggest videos have?
Yeah, hundreds of thousands all in the last couple of months as well. The last month, really.
Pretty interesting. So it would be interesting for you guys to use our new channel audit feature, and really for the last 90 days, see what videos are pushing the most subscribers and watch time, and then what videos are doing the worst. And then doubling down on these videos that are just consistently performing well. What's interesting to me for these bigger videos is these videos went somewhat viral without, no offense, almost any good title or keyword research.
I thought the exact same thing. I don't actually know what these thumbnails are about. I assume it's from Fortnite because of the channel banner.
But it doesn't say, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't actually say what it is. So how are people finding these videos?
So it's referencing, the Fortnite is referenced at the end of every title. Okay. I can see that, but it's as we suggest, try and keep your titles between a certain amount of characters, or else they get cut off just like this. So they are being referenced. Let's just click into one.
3, 2, 1.
See what's in the
Fortnite Save the World.
The video tags. So yeah, this is certainly interesting stuff, isn't it? These videos seem to be trending and performing well, despite.
Can we see if any of these videos are
live streams?
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest so with the length of the videos. 9 minutes, 11 minutes. Just try
and
this
they're
one.
full 2 stacks, right?
Yeah, I would say these are on-demand, pre-recorded videos.
Okay. Well, whatever you're doing,
It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah.
awesome job. You're doing an awesome job. If you want to try to grow this 30,000 subscribers to 300,000 subscribers, I'm going to give you 3 tips. Rob, I'm going to give you one of the 3, okay? So the first one is your thumbnails are awesome. Try to find faces and eyeballs when you can, the characters, and then try to get a little even more consistent on colors and your text. 2, move all of the most important keywords to the very beginning of each title. So something like Fortnite, whatever, teleported or whatever you're talking about, and then the name of your title. And then also put that phrase, whatever, Fortnite, blah, 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 what people are searching for, as a series playlist and the first tags and in the description. And then, do a series of 5 or 10 of those videos in the next 5 or 10 weeks and tell me what the difference is. And Rob, what's one more thing you would recommend for this channel?
I would say, just looking at the videos that you produced between 2 and 6 weeks ago, those videos seem to be performing better than the videos that you've done in the last week or 2, where it looks as if you've made a switch in terms of your thumbnail style a little bit. So the data's telling me that what you were doing before seems to be more successful than perhaps what you were doing, you've been doing in recent videos. So maybe think about just experimenting with going back to what you were doing a little bit before. Include your channel logo in some of your thumbnails. I can't see that anywhere. But other than that, phenomenal growth recently. Keep doing what you're doing. I know that's a bit of an easy get out, but the amount of views you're getting seems as if your channel has momentum. Just keep it up as strongly as possible. All right, that's I pause R. Next channel we're going to look at is the Cruisy Ways Jays, Pokemon Superhero YouTube series, coming up to 3,000 subscribers. Definitely a video about Pokemon, as we can see, so it's good that you're sticking to your value proposition. You know exactly what topic you're wanting to cover in most of your videos. Font-wise, perhaps maybe a little too difficult to read on some of these, or a bit too much text. But we can see that you've got the Pokemon characters maybe are a little small. I would say that although there isn't white space, there seems to be a lot of dead space in some of these thumbnails. So we have a branding, we have a consistency, but maybe the thumbnails aren't being used to their fullest potential here, I would say. I seem to remember we audited this channel maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, we did. And,
yeah.
The biggest thing I'd said then is make the characters huge.
Yeah, that's right.
Less text. And keep the background colors more consistent.
Yeah, and I would say in the last 3 thumbnails, that's the video creators maybe moved away from that more than the ones before.
And your name really doesn't matter in your title at all.
Yeah.
Because you're already ranked #1 in the world for your name of your YouTube channel. So try to actually put the game in the beginning, and what you're solving for that game. I would not worry about your brand in the title at all, because you already ranked #1 in the world for that.
So the KWJ's section of the title is wasted in terms of YouTube correctly identifying your content and sharing it with an audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so that's another round of channel audits. What we're going to do now is I can see that we've had some more live chat, super chats come in. So just while I switch back to Jeremy's controls, where I stop sharing,
By the way, a lot of people are making fun of my still creepy face. Apparently, I give a lot of people nightmares. So.
It's because I have to put a freeze frame picture of you while I'm sharing your screen, so it's just a big smiley face of Jeremy. Right
Evan
then.
Carmichael's in the house.
Hey, hello, Evan. Thank you for being once again another interview guinea pig at Video Marketing World. It's great to see you. I personally couldn't stay there for your talk, your keynote, because I had to catch a plane. Jeremy, how did it go? How did Jeremy's?
A lot of the fans came to see Evan. He's really good. You know what I love about Evan? This guy has like 1.4 million subscribers, and he's hanging out here with us right now, learning and growing every single day. This guy has more thirst for learning than anyone I've ever seen in my life, and his humbleness. Even though he could probably out YouTube most YouTubers on the planet, he's here learning right now. So you guys should definitely check out his channel.
Absolutely, yeah. And check out his recent. He's currently going through I think it's a 10-part series with Tim Schmoyer about how he grows his channel, and some awesome tips and tricks, and just like the storytelling of a channel is really interesting stuff there. So welcome to the live stream, Evan. Honor for you to join us. Some more super chats we've got in. Zai Show, $10. Thank you for the super chat. Being a small channel is hard not to look at sub count and view count. How would you go about the stress of it? Thank you for your help. I got my channel from 7,000 to 78,000 with a vidIQ extension and tag rank. Is that subscribers or view count? In any case, congratulations. But you're asking a question about getting too caught up in a sub count. And my response to that would be the sub count really is just a numerical value. Don't put a number against the value of your content. And if you're always going to be worried about your sub count, it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, you're always going to be comparing yourself to somebody else who has more subscribers and worrying about where they are versus where you currently are. What do you think about that, Jeremy?
There's some people out there that want to buy a fancy car one day, and there's or a nice watch or the latest gaming system. And then there's other people standing right next to them wanting to own the factory that the cars are made in, right?
Yeah.
The truth is, I have worked with hundreds, if not thousands of creators over the last 10 years. And I personally know people with 10 or 20,000 subscribers making six figures. There is a guy that does lawnmower stuff, and he teaches people how to run lawnmower businesses, and he does lawnmower reviews. Do you know how many lawnmower companies there are in America and how few YouTube lawnmower people there are? This guy's making 6+ figures a year with, I think the last time I looked, he had about 15,000 subscribers. So it's more about you understanding what you want out of life and how you're going to go get it with your niche, and how you're going to get to know all these businesses and brands, and how you're going to do brand deals, and how you're going to make the best content you can to provide the best you can possibly provide, whether it's entertainment or education, to your audience. If you think more like a businessman and entrepreneur, and you actually put just put your audience first. One of the speakers that came to speak last week at our conference was Andrew Edwards, I believe. He has less than 200,000 subscribers, but more brand deals than most people I know with 2 million subscribers.
Yeah, and he was. We interviewed him as well, so if you want to check out how he did that, he actually gives you the answer to that in the interview that we did. And I guess to finish off that thought from Zai Show is, if you've grown from 7,000 to 78,000 subscribers, there's probably people who were exactly in your position when you were at 7,000, envying you at the size of your channel. So, as Jeremy says, it's all about what you want out of it.
Proving this point, my personal channel is almost 4,000 subs, and I'm just doing thumbnails. That's it. I want to be the first YouTube channel in the world just doing thumbnails to have 100,000 subscribers. Could you imagine, like the monetization of that? The reality is it really doesn't matter what you do in life. If you're doing it better or different, you can serve an audience and you can make a living. But people get so caught up in the vanity, and people get so upset with AdSense. AdSense is almost $0 for most of us. So don't get caught up in the dumb stuff. And I don't mean to call anyone dumb. I mean dumb stuff like, oh, this person's better than me, or I'm not monetized on YouTube, therefore I'm not better than anyone else. Just don't get caught up on that stuff.
We've just got another message from Zyshow who's saying they were talking about impressions. So we weren't talking about views or subscribers. It was impressions jumping from 77,000 to 78,000. So I'd say that's fantastic news from YouTube. YouTube wants to share your content more. So you must be doing something right in terms of getting people to watch more of your content. So awesome. And if the click-through rate is gone down from that, that's to be expected because your content is being shared to a wider audience who may not necessarily be as invested in your content, but you want more eyes on your thumbnails to potentially click on them rather than nobody seeing them. So thank you very much for the 2 super chats you've given us there. Hypershiva, thank you very much for the 40. I don't know what currency that is. I think it might be South African Rand. Do let us know in the comments, but really appreciate your contribution there. Jamie Lynn, $5. I really appreciate your advice and videos. I know my channel is stronger because of all of you. Thank you very much. The channel is stronger because you're getting better at producing the content that you want to share with your audience. And thank you from iPawns for the £2 super chat after auditing your channel. Right, folks, get your super quick questions in. It's Jeremy's turn to be put under the microscope. So, Jeremy, you've probably got about 30 seconds to answer each of these questions. And we're going to start with, I just saw one here, which was a good question. MB Gamers, what's the best way to promote your YouTube channel?
The best way is to understand where your community lives. So, for example, are they in Facebook groups? Are they in subreddits? Do they have a gathering place online or physical, like a conference or something, like a anime conference, let's say, or a lawnmower conference, whatever you do, right?
Yeah.
All of these people with a similar interest as you have some type of universe, and you need to penetrate that universe. You need to be inside of that universe and really understand where these people are in life, where they go, and how they actually do stuff. One example is I'm in about 40 YouTube and video marketing Facebook groups, and I'm actually fairly active in them. If anyone asks a question, I answer it. I don't sell. I don't spam. I just try to be an active part of the community. Another thing is there's not many companies in this industry that does not know who I am. I'm not bragging. I've worked my butt off the last 15 years making sure that when these big brands start making more software and video marketing and YouTube, they just know who I am. So it's an active participation in the communities where you are. Another thing I do is I write for the bigger art magazines in your space. I speak. Everything I can do to reach more people is what I do. So I don't know about you specifically, like how you can do that, but think first, is your audience? And I know that was over 30 seconds. Sorry.
Question from Music X Official. This is the best question we've had today, Jeremy. What am I doing wrong?
Asking that question.
That's a good answer, because I think if you're asking such broad questions as how do I get more subscribers, what am I doing wrong with my channel, don't take this the wrong way, but people don't know the answer, and they don't really care, because it feels as if the video creator hasn't put in enough thought about the channel or the content themselves. So I think,
we're not making fun of you, by the way. It's a very common question.
Yeah, it is. Like when people ask such general questions, it's like 2 billion people are watching YouTube every single day. There are hundreds of thousands of video creators on YouTube. If you're asking these big questions, which are so broad, then maybe you haven't done the research to find out enough about your particular content and the strategies and what you want to produce. So My only guess is, as a music channel, what are you doing wrong? My guess is you're probably not making your channel a destination. It's probably just music, and people will listen to one piece of your music and they're done. And you're not telling them anything about your journey as a musician. That would be my guess, but that's the best answer I could potentially give to that. Next question. Sorry, Jeremy, did you have something to add?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay, next question we have, I'm going to just quickly search through here, is Rob Unlimited Gaming, how do you avoid YouTube burnout?
I actually made a whole video about this with, I interviewed on my channel, I interviewed the King of Random with 10 million subscribers. You know, the weirdest thing about life, and no one, it's really hard to fathom this, but whether you're living in the slums of India or America or in the biggest house in the world, everyone has their own levels. A lot of the YouTubers I work with, 2 million plus subscribers, have insane amount of pressure and stress and anxiety and panic attacks because this is difficult. So if you add 2 subscribers, 20, 200, 2,000, 200,000, 2 million, it really doesn't matter. You're going to be at a certain level. My suggestion is you keep your priorities straight, right? Keep a roof over your head and keep your family safe. And then, you know, do YouTube at the level that you can. If there's a day that you can actually go full time, awesome. But my thing is, it's more important to be sane than it is to be a YouTuber. And, you know, I haven't actually uploaded a video on my channel in over a month, and I do this for a living. You know, I teach people how to do this. I have billions of views for my customers. And the reality is sometimes life does not work the way you want it to, and you have to keep your mental health safe first. You really do. And your friends and family and your income and all these things. So finding balance is really important. And you would not believe how many big creators right now, if you Google this or YouTube this, you'll see from PewDiePie to just about every big creator out there has actually made videos on this topic. And it's a very major struggle. It's also a struggle from an emotional impact perspective because people are mean online.
How are you enjoying Jeremy's quickfire round, folks? See, it's like we're doing well here. I think we're averaging like one answer every 5 minutes, but they are, of course, brilliant answers. Of course, Jeremy. Question that came in, I think it was X Basketball, was how do you know whether to broaden your content or niche down?
I guess it's relative to your goals and your views and subscribers and your engagement. If you're getting views and subscribers and high engagement, keep on doing what you're doing. If you're not getting a lot of views, you probably need to niche down.
Yeah, I agree. I think as if you're starting to find that your channel's building very quickly, then you have an audience where you can perhaps take them on a journey to content that interests you. But as Jeremy says, to begin with, if you're plateauing or you're not growing very fast, I think that's a hustle stage where you're trying to find the specific content that's really going to resonate with your audience. A question that came in from somebody, but I think it's gone off screen, was, I'm still waiting a year and my channel hasn't been monetized. I'm guessing that means your channel's in review. We've done a lot of this on our channel. My answer to that would be, if your channel hasn't been monetized yet and it's been in monetization for 6 months, there is something that YouTube doesn't like, finds wrong with your content. We don't know what that is. We can't individually look at channels, but whether that's copyrighted content, something that's inappropriate, the chances are YouTube are just not seeing you as a priority to respond to tell you you've been rejected or something. On average, channels are being monetized within a month to 2 months of being under review or just applying for monetization. So all we can say is look at your channel, review the community guidelines that YouTube has, and I guess you need to step away from your content subjectively, look at it objectively, and see if there's something that's perhaps inappropriate with it. And then maybe following on from this, P4NOS, does a gaming channel have a higher risk of copyright claims? Have you had any experience with copyright claims, Jeremy, in your consultation and such?
Yeah, I have. I've worked with a lot of companies that make movies and animation. And there's actually, a lot of people don't know this, but there's something called the CMS, and it's a enterprise level dashboard. It's another view of your YouTube channel just from a content claiming perspective. It's very deep. I've taken the certification on YouTube for this. It's very, very intense. And it's a whole science. Basically, you need to be a lawyer to understand all of this. But at the end of the day, if you use someone else's content like gaming or music or images, then you're possibly going to have copyright claims and even possibly have legal action taken against you.
Yeah, I think for gaming, it's a really touchy subject, especially when you're recording your own footage. I know that Nintendo are always very, how do I put this, sensitive about the content that you put on YouTube. And I don't know what the rule is now. Do you almost have to enter into a Nintendo MCM in order to broadcast content? Something very specific there. And I know there's a lot of channels. Leron and I were talking about this at the conference. There's a lot of channels that are using montage content from other people's channels and being very successful on it. And we're wondering, why is this content not being flagged by YouTube as copyright content?
Right now they're really hard on family vlogs and family channels and kid channels. Yeah. My question to you is, what's next?
Yeah. So could once they've dealt with that, are they going to move on to another genre of content? And again, I would always say, don't look at other channels and see what underhand tactics and things that they're being successful with. That's their story. Whether YouTube Karma will catch up with them, don't try and copy bad practices, expecting them to work for you in the long run. That's the simplest way I can put it, I think. All right, have we got time for a few more channel audits, Jeremy? What are your energy levels like? Yeah, we're going to do a few more channel audits and take a few more questions because I've seen that we've been having like over 100 people on this live stream, and you're all still here, which is absolutely awesome. So we're going to keep going for you guys in, as I say, this somewhat unplanned channel audit, but it seems to be going really well. So I think we're going to keep this up. Okay, let me just click the right buttons here to get us on the right screens.
By the way, thank you to the Doberman guy. Phenomenal
as
job
always,
today.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Okay, what screen can you see, Jeremy, now? Just checking.
I don't see a screen at the moment.
You don't see a screen at the moment. Right, okay, what about now? You should be able to see something now.
Yep.
Okay.
I see Doggy Dude 98.
Yep, okay, so that's the channel we're looking at now. Doggy Dude 98 channel. Congratulations on breaking 100 subscribers. A quick look through your thumbnails would suggest to me it is a video gaming channel based off of Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5. So my immediate questions would be, why do we see 3 images of dogs and then 3 images of Grand Theft Auto in the channel banner, and then all of your content looks to be as if it's about Grand Theft Auto? So I think it's great that you found your niche, and some of these videos are doing well as well, which is brilliant. And when people watch your content, you're getting 100% like ratios, which is awesome. So I think this channel has lots of potential. It's the fine tweaking and refining here, which could really help the channel take off a little bit. Would you say, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to, reflect your channel art and maybe even your channel name to your new focus, and try to get some consistency in your thumbnails, and you got this. Yeah,
there's some videos here with thousands of views for a channel with 100 subscribers. So you've definitely latched onto a particular topic in a very competitive area. So channel branding and thumbnails, and I think you'll be a channel with a lot of potential there. So very quick one, Doggy Do, but I think some very clear suggestions on that one. Next channel is Binky Kids Nursery Rhymes. We've just been talking about children's content. What I see here is a channel with only 500 subscribers, but every single video that they've produced, not that many, but maybe one every 2 or 3 months, is getting 10,000 plus views, with the exception of this one that's just been released today. And I think this is a good example here, Jeremy, of Rainbow Vomit, which is very successful Rainbow Vomit, and is really specifically targeted at kids and tells you exactly what you need to know in a title and the thumbnails.
You know what's interesting about eyes? I always talk about how eyes are the window to the soul, and they're so important.
Yeah.
Just look at the head, shoulders, knees, and toes kid with the big eyes, and then the rainbow vomit in the background. This is a near perfect thumbnail.
Absolutely.
Near perfect thumbnail. Now, obviously, if you're not a kids channel, you don't do this, right?
Yeah. Don't go into Photoshop and start and manipulate your face to do this.
But, this is a very, very well thought out, and the 3 of the 4 videos recently has the same background. Yeah. I would even go back, besides like the actual like tub there, and cut everything else out of the background and continue that design with all of your thumbnails, all of them. Keep it the same design, the rainbow vomit in the background, so that people know it's the official.
Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier with a question where should some people go back to their evergreen content and update their thumbnails? And you're thinking in this case, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would go back maybe. I would go back either your best performing content or your last 6 months to a year and update the thumbnails, because if people are clicking on your thumbnails, maybe you can get a better click-through rate. It's a very, very smart thing to do. Now, I personally do not update any other meta information from older videos. I used to, but it's not very effective anymore. But thumbnails are.
And one last thing here for the channel is, interestingly, the first 5 videos are all 3 minutes, and that's advertised on the thumbnail. There's not enough probably data long term here, but this video that's 13 minutes long on just a single day hasn't received that many views at all. I think we probably need to wait maybe a 2 weeks to a month to see what the full result is here, but perhaps it is the shorter videos are more successful for this channel. And anything
typically for kids content, kids just watch stuff.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so
I it would really shock me if this 13-minute video did not do 5 times better than your 3-minute videos. It would really kind of blow my mind.
Guess we'll just have to keep an eye on that one and see what comes out there. All right, so that's Binky Kids Nursery Rhymes. Congratulations on a channel with lots of views very early on. Keep it up. Next channel we are looking at with 300 subscribers is Kids Swords. What I find interesting about this channel is it has lots of game characters and then a bag of Doritos Nacho Cheese on the right-hand side. I have no idea what that means, but
it's priorities, man.
It made me chuckle when I was looking at it. Just one thing to note, though, that would be cut off in a mobile version of your channel, so do bear that in mind. That when you create a channel banner, you probably need to look at the, what is it, about 20% on either side of the banner gets cut off. Anyway, we're looking at a channel which is what? Well, I guess my question is, I look at the thumbnails, I look at the channel banner, I know it's about gaming. Beyond that, I don't really know what this channel is about because of the titles and the somewhat lack of consistency in what I'm seeing on the thumbnails. I see some things about YouTube, but then there's one about Jalapeno Challenge.
I never thought I would say this in my life, but you have too much rainbow
on some of these. Yeah, I mean, in terms of a video creator, there is always some merit perhaps to having super basic thumbnails like these here, because they really stand out.
Emojis are good for this age of a channel, but I will say the starting shout out live streams, that thumbnail is amazing. Take that concept and that background and do all of your thumbnails with you in the image.
We're talking about this one here, Jeremy. Is that right? Yeah,
that's a phenomenal thumbnail.
Yeah. So this was the first one where perhaps there's maybe a bit too much rainbow vomit and the font isn't quite right, but refined, something like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a 2-minute live stream on shoutouts as well. So if it's maybe a live stream, you may want to make it a little longer than that. So what we're thinking here, maybe channel focus, thumbnails like this would help the channel.
Also, unless you're a true vlog, I would never have titles like "I'm back."
Right. Okay. Yeah, and especially after maybe 2 weeks of not being around, there's probably not enough time on YouTube for anybody to be too worried about where you've potentially gone, unless you're producing 5 or 6 videos a day like Evan Carmichael does. I wonder if he's ever had to do an "I'm back" video for missing a single day of video content.
I'm back. I've only been not made a video in 12 hours.
It's only been 6 hours, but I'm back. All right, and this channel here, Swoosh Funny Content Only channel, 500 subscribers. Congratulations on breaking 500 subscribers for your channel. And there's a theme here with the titles, Try Not to Laugh or Even Grin. I've seen this series of videos work very popular on YouTube. Thumbnails again, what do we think of these?
So first off, actually, I would do Try Not to Laugh challenge in all of your titles, not just Try Not to Laugh, because right now the Try Not to Laugh challenge is actually more search intent and it's a longer tail title. So Try Not to Laugh challenge would be the first phrase I would use in my tag styles, descriptions, and series playlist. And secondly, I just see a lack of consistency.
Yeah.
So if you had a background color or a logo or something that tied all this together, also just from a copyright perspective, if you had it kind of your design and then you put SpongeBob there, maybe it's not just a complete ripoff of, it's still copyright claimable, trust me. But I'm just saying, like, if you just had part of it. Another thing is, like the Try Not to Laugh edition 10 version, just having the person or the thing, like a dog or whatever, is, from a visual perspective, easier to understand what's funny than having a whole scene.
Yeah. I think the final thing I would say is that this channel certainly has a focus on this Try Not to Laugh series of videos, and it looks as if that is starting to pay off somewhat in that I can just see that the view count is gradually climbing with each of these videos that the video creator is making. So I think it's good that they have a what do you call it? Is this the nested formula that we're looking at here? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, they've done it very well. I'm just adding one word to it because Try Not to Laugh challenge is a thing right now.
But however, one thing I would say is, looking at the content, I would be asking myself is, do you have permission to use this content? It looks as if you're looking at content with ancient vines. How have you sourced all of this content? And this is where potentially it might worry me if you get to a point where you've got 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, and it goes under manual review. Do you have permission to use this content? And that's what I think of from a channel perspective. How much of this is your original content? Something potentially to think about there. Right then. We are, an hour and a half in. This is the longest live stream we've done, I think, Jeremy. And I think what I would like us to do to finish off here is to just take a few more questions from our enduring audience here who have been here throughout the entire hour. So if you've got any final questions on this Ask Us Anything series of the vidIQ live stream, fire them in now and we'll try and tackle them. Anything new coming there for you, Jeremy, that we can see from questions?
Do you have any just quick tips on for gaming channels?
We have 10 quick tips from our How to Start a Gaming Channel in 2018. Quick tips would be, ultimately the gaming channel is going to be about you, because when you finish playing one game, you want to take your audience to another game. Bright impactful thumbnails are super important. And when you're starting out your gaming channel, try and find something very particular in a particular game that you know something about more than anybody else and sell that to your audience, because there's so many gaming channels, it's so hard to compete. You want to deliver something new and unique that your audience can't find anywhere else.
How could 4 people dislike vidIQ's video right now?
Have we got 4 dislikes? That's a shame. It's actually
So
better.
that was a question someone asked.
Oh, right. Okay. Hey,
I'm glad it's not more.
An interesting tool that somebody suggested was, if somebody dislikes it, there should be an auto pop-up on the YouTube video that says, why do you dislike this video? I think that's a great idea in principle, but then I imagine most people wouldn't answer that if they dislike the video. But yeah, that could be something interesting. I just want to say as well, we got another super chat from iPorers. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's pronounced IPOWZER. So iPauser. He's asking, should I change my name? Is it bad for the channel? I don't think you really need to change your name at this point. It's just us trying to work out what your channel name is in a space of 20 seconds. I'm sure if somebody watched your content, you say your channel name in that, they'll be able to work it out straight away. So don't worry too much about your channel name there.
Say your channel name and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If we didn't get an audit, should we fill in the form again next time, or are we in the queue for next stream?
So this is something I'm trying to work out in my own head. I think I'm going to do a purge of the form, and I'm going to then ask people to put the date that they filled out the form, so I know that you're in the live stream, because we don't want to audit people's channels who are not in the live stream. So I would say yes, fill out the form again, but wait until next week's live stream, because that means you'll be the first in the list, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of working backwards and putting them in my tabs for us to
Brian
review.
T. Johnson's in the house. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are your poodles doing? That's a question I'm always interested in, since you tell us at the end of every video that you've got 2 to feed.
If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he's one of my, I think Rob's too, one of our favorite channels to watch.
I love his enthusiasm, and I one of the things I love about his video intro is it has a punch thing that comes into his logo and it says Brian G. Johnson. I don't know why, but I just love that bit of the videos.
Now, Brian's the man. He's a very phenomenal human. You guys definitely need to check out his channel. All right, what else? Before we jump off this, because we've been going an hour and 31 minutes, what else can we help you guys with today?
We're trying to up our live stream endurance.
Remember to, Martin Dodger, thank you for the super chat. Remember to make content you want to see. If you think it's not worthy, how would your subscribers like it? You know, one thing I like to say is every time you upload a video, how dare you waste someone else's time? Time is actually more precious than money for most in the world. And if you purposely or just get lazy and you waste someone's time, how dare you? You should not be okay with that. Don't have to make a perfect video. It's not about the best lighting or whatever. It's about content, either making someone learn quickly or entertain them. But don't just put up work that's half butt, because you're not going to improve the world. And with over almost 500 hours uploaded to YouTube every minute, how do you make your impact, and how are you different, and how do you change the world in your own way?
Jeremy's getting a bit of attitude at the end of this live stream. A bit of sass there. But yeah, you're right. The YouTube currency is time, and that's the most valuable thing, both as video creators and viewers, that we have to trade with, I guess.
We have Tom Martin in the house as well.
Oh, hello, Tom. Sorry I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to you at the conference, and our interview was a complete shambles thanks to some audio issues. But thanks to everybody who's joining us here on the live stream. It's awesome to see you all
rock
joining.
Stars in the room for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tom's just finished he called it, the Vader, where you do a vlog every day in August. And I think that tied him out a little bit. So back to some high quality content. Gremlins in the System is saying, yeah, absolutely. Maybe, and make sure you don't feed Tom after midnight, because things, I won't go there. Oh, he says he's dead as well. Hopefully you'll get back into it. He had to. I seem to remember he told me that his travel was a 24-hour journey from London to Dallas, thanks to some very long stopovers.
Wow, I have some great friends to travel over. All right, so how do people actually submit their channel for audit for next week?
Okay, folks. So what I recommend you do is we have a Google form in the video description now. You can fill it out now. However, if you do that, I'm not going to know whether you're on next week's live stream. So the best thing to do is probably turn up 10, 15 minutes before the live stream, then start filling out the form. And that's when I work backwards from our current list. I think there's about 100 people on that form now. So do I want to really start from 1 out of 100, which was filled out 2 weeks ago? Probably not. So our advice is when you get the notification, the reminder for next week's live stream, get in there and start filling out that form, and I'll make sure to add you to the list. Unfortunately, there's only 2 of us here, and there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of YouTube channels. We can only audit a certain amount every week, and we're trying to get better at that every single week. I think we've done around at least 10 this week. But we've also answered a lot of your questions, and we hope we can do all of that next week. Does that answer your question, Jeremy? Are you going to fill out the form next week and we can audit yours? That would be
Absolutely.
fun. Maybe we should do the group therapy channel audit session with Jeremy next week on his thumbnails, and we can immediately tell him, why have you not made any videos in the last month? That would be the big criticism there. All right, then. Any more questions here before we wrap this one up?
Sorry, we can't review everyone, guys. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Just understand we're 2 guys and we have millions of you out there that we're trying to better serve. One of the ways we're actually trying to serve you better is on Wednesdays. I'm actually doing a new user webinar. We'll add that link if you guys want to check me out live tomorrow. Get a little more time where we deep dive into the software and we ask any software specific questions you may have. We'll put that link in the description, and that's a little more time with us. And any other things we can do, any other ideas you have to where we can serve you better, please let us know.
And one last plug. If we can't do the personal channel audit, you've got the channel audit button right there. It's working 24/7 for your channel. Give it a click and it will tell you more than we can ever tell you in an individual channel audit from a technical perspective about what your channel is doing. All right, Jeremy, I think it is time for some food for both of us. Thank you very much, everybody who stayed on this live stream for the last hour and a half. I really do appreciate it. And as we say, you can find us on vidIQ wherever you are on the internet for tips, tricks, and guides to help grow your channel, and download the Chrome extension for advice when we're asleep or having our lunch to help you grow your channel. As always, Jeremy, absolute honor.
Thank you. Likewise.
Enjoy the rest of your video making day, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.